Hello, my astrology friends. This is Lada from AstroladaOfficial, and these are your June 2025 horoscopes. June is very interesting month. We have Jupiter moving to Cancer on the 10th of June. For the last 2 years, Jupiter, the great benefactor, the one that's supposed to give abundance, growth, healing, expansion to every one of us, has been in two signs where it's very weak, in Taurus and Gemini. So these qualities of growth, expansion, optimism, you can see it even around the world. They have not been so easy coming to us. But Jupiter moving into Cancer is where it's strongest. And it will stay there for a whole year till next summer 2026. So those qualities of growth, of opportunities, will multiply, will become bigger. The ability to grow and to expand will become bigger for us over the next 1 year. I mean, fertility as well. Jupiter in Cancer is very fertile. The fertility of the land, the fertility of the animals and humans themselves should improve. So should the conditions of families. Cancer rules normal families. The good qualities, the good conditions around the world for even buying real estate should improve. For maybe laws will be, Jupiter rules laws, will be accepted kind of around the world in different places. That will give more preference for families, for normal people, which is Cancer. So we have a lot of wonderful things that are going to start the inception gradually from June. But initially, before this growth, this opportunity comes to us, right in June and July, Jupiter will receive a challenging aspect from Saturn and Neptune, because simultaneously in the whole June and the whole July, we're going to have Saturn and Neptune together in the sky. This happens once every 35 years. The last time Saturn and Neptune were together was the fall of the Berlin Wall, a big, huge socio-economic change starting to happen. And so the times are, this Jupiter, yes, will help us grow, but at the same time, we have very unstable social, economic, political times. And June and July are a peak. And again, Saturn and Neptune will meet in February 2026. And so the whole 2025, 2026, even into 2027, we have this Saturn-Neptune conjunction that starts a new cycle. But it's very powerful in June and July, because it's not only Saturn and Neptune, but the Jupiter squaring them. So the three gas giants are interacting in June and July. Plus, towards the end of June, there will be a new moon. The sun, the moon, and Jupiter will align in one line like that together. While at the same time squaring, which is a challenging aspect of corrections, of growth, of some crisis, will square Neptune and Saturn. So probably the peak month of 2025, of some very important social, economic, political, and even natural events. Watch out for big natural events happening. Two of the planets, Saturn and Neptune, are in Aries fire, and the a new moon with Jupiter, the moon, and the sun, the other three super important bodies in our solar system, is happening in water, in Cancer. So there can be this play in nature between fire and water. In some places it will be water big events, in other places there will be fire big events. We don't know which, but I have to put it out there. And internally, this is the clash of water and fire within us. And what happens when water and fire bring together? It's steam. It will get steamy. It will get tumultuous. This is also volcanic energy. Volcano fire erupts and falls into water, Cancer, where the other planets are, and solidifies into something. So water and fire can create earth. They can create something new, tangible, and real. But the initial clash, it's intense. They actually, even in esoteric knowledge, we know that the battle between the creative forces happens on the verge of water and fire, where demons and angels battle each other, but they together create the reality that we have. So we have this massive epic battle of the giants, of the Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, the sun involved as well. So there'll be tension within us. Imagine water is emotions, fire, it's so fire is an impulse to act, so the emotions will be very intense. There will be a lot of emotionalism in our reactions. So be aware of that. And because Jupiter is the desire to expand, to grow, optimism, faith, Saturn is the impulse to block that. So there will be moments of I feel very high and excited and inspired in June and into July, and moments where I feel the energy of Saturn. So seesaw, optimism, pessimism. Yes, I can do it. New inspiration. A new moon aligns with Jupiter, the sun, and moon in the first degrees of Cancer on the 26th approximately of June. And that's a powerful impulse for new beginning to fructify, to give birth. Cancer is a very motherly sign, creative sign, to give birth of something new that is, it will be very fruitful. But we have to overcome some challenge, and it might be the challenge of reality. Saturn rules the rules of the world, the materialistic obstacles we need to overcome, or the materialistic laws and rules that we have to follow in order to fulfill these new visions. Because definitely Jupiter in Cancer wants to give birth to something brand new, beautiful, very expansive and very fruitful. But at the same time, specifically in June, we have to overcome some obstacles. And this energy, how we're going to feel it collectively and internally. First, the markets, the financial situation can be quite crazy in June and into July. They can be, every time Saturn squares Jupiter, in the last year, we had it 2 times over the last 12 months. We always had the markets plummet because there's some rearrangement of layers. So we can expect something like that, similar as well. Also in personal financial circumstances, some rearrangements of layers and uncertainty, or having to overcome some obstacles as well. But generally, what Saturn square Jupiter is asking us to do is to build something new on the something, maybe, breathe new life into old plans. Saturn is something old. Jupiter is something new because it's just starting a new cycle into Cancer. And so we need to breathe something new into the old plans, or we can bring new something new wants to be born out of the old, but maybe through a crisis, because we have this square. And the other way we can see this energy playing out is we need to sacrifice something. Saturn Neptune conjunction, it's about sacrificing or giving up something in order to allow another area of our life to grow up. So if you have such themes in your life, no matter where it is, just know is that this big battle between all those planets here. Give up something or sacrifice so we can grow in a different direction of life. It's okay. Another way Saturn Jupiter square can play out is to realign your plans and goals, especially in business, especially the ones that are about the worldly achievements, because Saturn and Jupiter rule the external world, your goals, and realign them to make them more practical. And especially Saturn squaring Jupiter asks us to kind of pare down somehow our endeavors and concentrate our energies on some kind of more practical or fewer projects, or more high quality projects. So instead of big number, so if you spread yourself thin in a few places, you're doing a few things. Now it will be the time, June and July, paring down, just focusing on the really high quality projects or really high quality decisions in your life, and removing certain excess ones. So there is this concentration, but also whittling down of excess, whittling down of too many things, to focus on something very high quality, because Jupiter in Cancer is very high quality something, but just not too many things. And another way it can play out as well, and it's to cut down your liabilities, because Jupiter can also indicate expenses where we spend too much time or money or energy or emotions that is basically a liability, that it's a waste. Saturn will show us what is a waste to remove it when it's squaring Jupiter. So really beautiful things will come through Jupiter in Cancer, but more towards the second part of the year. More will start feeling it when Jupiter becomes visible and stops squaring Saturn, which is from August. Those opportunities will become easier to grow into, to expand. This very powerful growth of Jupiter in Cancer. Jupiter is the strongest there. Growth, abundance, wealth. Jupiter rules all of those things. Joy, happiness. But June and July, it's still it's time where you whittle down, where you spread yourself too thin, extra expenses, extra liabilities, where you've been overdoing, where you have been overspending yourself thin, or overspreading yourself thin, or overspending will come under scrutiny during that time. But this is the preparatory stage for something big and something wonderful that you'll be blessed with over the next 1 year. So even if you have moments of uncertainty now in June and July, moments of like a crisis, like in a battle between light and darkness, between confidence and because Jupiter symbolizes to have faith, to be full of confidence, and Saturn is kind of like putting a brake on it or making you question what is realistic, what is not. But there will be some new ideas that are born, especially towards the end of the month, of very powerful new circumstances that are born and opportunities into your life towards the end of June, after the new moon in Cancer, while at the same time it will require either sacrifice or scrutiny or some real alignment and rearrangement of your other plans and other responsibilities, so you can focus on the things that are really important. And the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, I'll speak a lot more about it in the July videos, but it is happening. I think worldwide it will be very strongly activated in June, because Jupiter and the new moon trigger this conjunction in June. So watch out for big geopolitical, social, economic, big shakeups and new beginnings as well, because these are cardinal signs. Cancer and Aries, these are signs of new beginnings. Cardinality means to new circumstances, new beginnings. But because they're at a square, it's like you're moving forward with new beginnings. But I always love to give this example, but the cart is moving forward. Big spin of the wheel is happening, but the wheels of the cart are square. So, so the journey starts like that. Rough. Yes, new things start, but it's a rough start. And it's normal sometimes, it's I also, Saturn Jupiter is when you can curb certain overindulgent behaviors of yourself. It can be addictions, because Jupiter can be like overdoing something, and the initial stages are difficult. It's about retreating from society, going through the pains of not having what you usually indulge with. But after that, the abundance and the growth and the reward follows. Maybe I think we'll start seeing it from August. Whatever sacrifice we did, whatever more difficult choices we have to make now in June and July, and to prioritize in some direction. After that, especially September, October, November, December, such wonderful things are coming collectively to the world and individually, because in June starts the square of Jupiter and Saturn. But in towards the end of the year, so let's say the autumn in the northern hemisphere, Saturn and Jupiter hold a trine for 2 months. So there will be a big reward as well, big growth. But the new beginnings are now a little bit rougher, with some difficult decision, but they can be extremely, and down the line, they will be extremely productive, helpful, and let's say rewarding, especially if you do the hard work now. When Saturn and Jupiter, they require to keep a very moral principle stance of yourself. All right. So, and Saturn, Neptune, what can we talk about it? Again, it is connected to natural disasters as a possibility. It is connected to big political world events that will change. But this cycle lasts 35 years ahead. So we'll just see the seeds now of it. Because it's in Aries, it will be new political moves, new leaders, new direction of economics overall that will start just like when Saturn and Neptune joined last time in the early 90s, late 80s, the Berlin Wall fell, the communist regime in Eastern Europe fell. It was a brand new world. And the whole map, geopolitical, economically, will be rewritten over 2025 and 2026 through the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Aries. It might be in very harsh ways as well, through very strong leaders or very unapologetic means, because Mars, Aries, doesn't touch lightly. It's like, does, uses force basically. But there is another way to describe the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, which starts in Neptune in June and July. It's your ideals, which is Neptune, your belief systems, which is Neptune, will form and will be able to lay the foundations of something tangible and real, which is Saturn. A friend of mine had a vision about this combination, and she says it was given to you. I have very psychic friends. She wrote to me and says there was a message from Spirit towards you. And she said, I don't understand it, but it's for you. And she says, the waters you have chosen will build shores where there was none before. And I said, this is Saturn-Neptune conjunction that is just starting. The waters you've chosen, the emotional alignments, your beliefs, the water rules this, your beliefs, your ideals, and will determine, and also your, imagination. The waters is imagination, your inner world, your inner vibration, your soul qualities will build and will be able now to build shores where there was none. So you can create out of thin air, which is kind of Neptune, out of the imaginative, the idealistic world, the ideas in your mind, your inspirations, your dreams, you can make them into reality. And not just in June, July, this is a 1-2 year process, but it's starting now. What ideals are you going to get now? And how are you going to manifest them? Or what kind of inspiration, Neptune, are you going to receive now? Very rare. It's not going to happen again for 35 years. And how are you going to fulfill it? And let's start with the 12 signs, but I also have prepared for you Uranus in Gemini, which happens in July. A 5-hour webinar with 100 pages PDF with absolutely every possible aspect. Say if you're Leo, Venus in Leo, or Moon in Sagittarius, Uranus will oppose you, sextile you. What does it mean for you? And how Uranus in Gemini will affect you for the next 8 years. And I give even for the hard aspects, very optimistic outlook, what to look and what to expect for the final result, because the final result is what we're looking here, not the turbulence of the transit itself. But so you can keep the goal and the purpose, the spiritual and even material purpose of this, what it is. So you make sense of Uranus, because when Uranus affects us, everything changes in the life, everything suddenly. Without the warning, bam. One day is one way and the other day your reality is different. So you can check it out. It's only $19, $20 for usually something that would cost $200. I want to make it affordable for you. So if you're interested, click on the link in the description below. And you can own it for early birds. It's $20. It becomes $30 after that. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, June 2025. Scorpio, good news for you. Jupiter, the great benefic. It's a wonderful planet for you as well, because for you in particular, it's even bigger benefic because it rules your 5th house of good karma and good blessings and deeds. It's moving into Cancer, which means for the next 12 months after June the 9th, it will be trining Scorpios, and especially early born Scorpios in June will start feeling it already. The so-called October born Scorpios from June, July, but all Scorpios, they'll feel like shift in energy. They'll feel like heaviness lifting up and more optimism coming, and Jupiter becomes really strong from August because it's invisible now in June and July because it's very close to the sun, so we can't see it. And the moment its light becomes visible in the sky, you're going to start feeling from August. First, you'll feel it internally only, uplifting of the spirit from after the 9th of July, that kind of like a bit more confidence comes to you, that you feel lighter, more positive, more aligned. And then the material manifestation will start coming from August when Jupiter becomes visible, which is blessings, opportunities. As I said, your good karma gets activated. Jupiter rules your 5th house. Also, Jupiter rules your 2nd house of money. So even some financial blessings and opportunities will appear. Jupiter will be in your 9th house. And 9th house is the house of Jupiter naturally, and it's exalted there. Jupiter was not strong in the last 2 years. It was in Gemini, in Taurus. Couldn't really help even with the 7th house. Many Cancers complained. Scorpios complained, said that nothing with relationships in the 8th house. But in Cancer it will, because Jupiter's strongest in Cancer, in your 9th house of good luck. So you start feeling luckier. Maybe from June, but especially July, August, you have 12 months to feel this. Your luck improves, like you'll be at the right place at the right time, and you'll be much more attuned and hear and notice the opportunities that appear around you. And be able not just to see them, but to use them and to expand your consciousness through them. Jupiter in the 9th house, it's as if it's taking you out when it moves from the 8th house, where it's kind of the tunnel, the dark tunnel, and the 9th house is the light at the end of the tunnel. And when Jupiter moves into your 9th house, there'll be this expansion of your energy, of your vibration. It's suddenly you pass through the tunnel of death, let's say it metaphorically, and you've gone and you see the paradise and the lawns of opportunities and rainbows. So this is the energy that you're going to start gradually getting into with Jupiter entering your 9th house. Also, it will help you see from a bigger perspective over the next 12 months, taking you as if you're kind of drowning in your problems. If you are in certain things, they're not clear for you, how things going to be. Jupiter puts you on top, on the peak of the hill, because 9th house symbolizes like a high place, a vantage point from where you can see the whole puzzle and how the threads beneath you that didn't make sense now create a whole beautiful canopy. And you'll see the big puzzles of the game from above, and you'll see what the picture is. You'll see the whole picture. So you'd get clarity about the direction in your life. You can get inspiration about what it is you want. And 9th house is another self house, which is you grow more into who you're meant to be. It's a dharmic house. Dharma is what your soul really finds joy in. And so your dharma and doing righteous good deeds, it will come easier to you, Scorpios, to be more moral, to be, well, sometimes people can get too morally high on their horse, start preaching to others, but to be more moral, to be more inspired, to align to what is naturally good for you and for others, because sometimes people really want to do things that can harm others or themselves. But when the 9th house Jupiter enters there, you naturally align to what are the righteous good actions. And Jupiter in the 9th house can bring on a material level opportunities to study. I started studying astrology when Jupiter was transiting in the 9th house, 9th sign from my ascendant. I discovered something that brought new mission and meaning into my life. So 9th house is meaning. What am I here on this earth for? What do I wake up for? What really excites me to wake up and to do? And the first time Jupiter brought me to learn astrology, which has opened brand new horizons in front of me. So wonderful time to study something, to get accepted to really quality colleges, universities with quality teachers, to find a guru and a teacher, and that to be a really high quality one with Jupiter in Cancer, or inspirational figure, or for yourself to become a role model and a teacher and an inspirer of others, or some kind of a counselor or advisor in a role of guiding others. And that's the last time Jupiter transited my 9th house from ascendant. I started teaching astrology. 12 years before that, I discovered it. So for some of you, it can be opportunity to study, others to teach, Another thing that happened is Jupiter transiting my ninth house is I gave birth to my first child ever. So another opportunity, meaningful life, another purpose, meaningful life. Yes, it will make you more fertile. If you're interested, Jupiter is in a very fertile sign, Cancer, for the next 12 months, sending a trine to you, your body and your fifth house, children. It can be good for your children, for your health. If you've been having some health issues, Jupiter moving into your ninth house will hold your health or improve it, even though Saturn is in the sixth house. So it will require corrections. It will require you to make certain efforts, but Jupiter will show you exactly the path to health. Jupiter in the ninth house can be as well opportunities to travel, opportunities to gain foreign citizenship with ease, opportunities to study, to go abroad, or to move to live abroad. Opportunities can come to you from there for certain. Ninth house is also the house of, or just to visit some foreign countries, so to meet with foreigners that will expand your horizon, or people that are like teachers, inspirational figures, good karma in your life. And that's, I mean, as I said, this is 12 months prognosis ahead, not just June. In June, it gradually starts, but the good things can kick in later. But overall, it will make you luckier. If your sun in Scorpio, for example, Jupiter at some point in the next 12 months will trine your sun, which is the most gracious transit and aspect, and will make you feel more abundant, will make you feel more full of opportunities. Your career can expand, opportunities there. You know, if you're in any business that is educational, consultational, inspirational, growth, positivity appears there. All right, so this is Jupiter, but June in particular might be a bit a test of your faith. Your belief systems will expand, what you believe is possible. You can start studying some manifestation techniques, so the law of attraction, or things that make you believe that how to program your consciousness in a positive way, how to create your reality by positive affirmations, by positive consciousness and focus, because the ninth house is the higher mind, is the super consciousness, and Jupiter there allows you a direct channel to the super consciousness, which stores all the possibilities for you, all the possible and the best things you can become. So you start striving towards this ideal. You normally become more moral person as well, a better version of yourself, easier when Jupiter is there, and you strive towards that. You start self-growth is big when Jupiter is in the ninth house, educationally, or just believing more, having more faith in yourself, in your abilities. If it's your sun in Scorpio, career-wise as well. If it's your moon for your family, it can grow. Your fertility, your health as a woman, if you're a woman. Your moods can improve with Jupiter in your ninth house. Your emotional well-being. And if it's your ascendant, all of those things that I'm talking. Also, if you're having any legal issues, Jupiter through your ninth house can solve them in your benefit. If you have to do any documents and papers regarding legal matters, or regarding foreign travel or education or residence, again, Jupiter gives green card sometime over the next 12 months. I cannot tell you exactly when it gets activated for you, but in June in particular, Jupiter will square Saturn. So there might be first some moral dilemma you have to solve, particularly we're talking June now. Some problems. Saturn is in the sixth house of solving everyday responsibilities, duties, work situations, health situations, Jupiter there, or your daily interactions in a sense. Jupiter can, being squared by Saturn there, they can be, you're feeling this new impulse, this new inspiration, this new ideals, but because of daily responsibilities and duties, tasks, errands, you kind of get deflated at moments in June and July, and you're like, I want to go towards this new beautiful future, Jupiter in the ninth house, my new plan for myself, my version 2.0, my improved, better version, my dream, whatever. Ninth house is very much the best, you know. And the bigger things, I want to do those big things, but those everyday things like job, or I have to take care of daily things. They can get you down because they can kind of bring you down from this cloud nine that Jupiter will put you on and is trying to put you on already from June, but Saturn is squaring and saying, okay, those new ideals that you have for yourself, those new visions, those new hopes, ninth house, and this new faith can be challenged. So it can be this push and pull between getting buried in daily duties and responsibilities and the realities of life, like bureaucracy, like traffic jams is the sixth house, and all of those, paying the tax, paying the debt you have, having to wash yourself even sometimes it can feel like a burden, or having to deal with all kind of Saturnian things, rules, regulations, restrictions, or to do your job, even to go to a job, and you have like an idea, oh, I'll be a teacher, whatever, but or I'll be doing this next big thing, but Saturn is like, no, you have responsibilities here. So there is this energy that plays out in June and partly July for us. So you need to find a balance to still feed and those new hopes and dreams, those new opportunities that are appearing, and those new sparks of inspiration and confidence, and the moments when the harsh reality, the dull reality, the mundane reality of everyday life, and the normal triggers of everyday life and boring stuff and obstacles we have to overcome, when they try to take care of them at the same time, because Saturn is, with Neptune here in your ninth house, while at the same time nurturing your inspirations there and your ideals. So you might have to resolve also some moral dilemma, which is right, which is wrong, or maybe your belief systems, the old ones, Saturn wants to question them, squaring Jupiter in your ninth house. You might have to let go of some old beliefs before you embrace this new improved 2.0 version. And Saturn asks you to make a sacrifice when it's squared Jupiter in some area of your life so you can grow in another. You might have to make a sacrifice in the sixth house where Saturn is in Neptune, with their conjunction happening in June and July, which happens once every 35 years. So sacrifice in regards to a job you might quit, or a job that you let go of, or some responsibilities and duties that you might have to choose only the most important ones, so you can pursue some new dreams, so you can pursue some new inspiration here, or education, or travels, or you might have to solve some problem like, okay, I need to get I have so many duties, work, to get it done now, so you can open this new path for you to grow, maybe to travel more, maybe to study something, maybe to self-growth and explore something. But you have to deal with both Saturn, and Saturn is like, maybe do some sacrifices now, June and July, get the work done, or maybe some sacrifice that you have to let go of certain limitations, because sixth house is connected to limitations that you believe that because, okay, this job gives me the money, or this, this thing that I do every day, which is sixth house, is daily routines and your mundane tasks, and they give me security. Maybe I have to let go of this security, or maybe the universe will take it away from me now, June and July. So it shows me that there is other possibilities to grow into, other opportunities, a much bigger world than this world. I'm stuck here in my daily hamster wheel, and to open up those much bigger window for me, that the ninth house where Jupiter wants to grow into is the world is your oyster kind of energy. And maybe you might to let go of some bad health habits here, which Saturn and Neptune starting their conjunction will really help you over the next 1 year. Neptune is releasing, letting go. Saturn is saying no, being serious about it. Sixth house can be addictions. Sixth house can be unhealthy habits that are kind of, undermining our health in some way, mental, psychological, physical health. So you might have to make some sacrifice there and let go, which Saturn and Neptune will help you for. And it might even be showing to you, okay, there is some health issue you need to resolve here, to get it over with, to release it with Saturn and Neptune, to start like a new chapter, so you can focus on growing and expanding. But at the same time, even if there's some health issue, Jupiter is protecting your body by a trine. So there is, there's solutions, you're finding, because Saturn and Neptune is in the house of problems and Jupiter is in the house of solutions and seeing from a higher perspective and solving them. So even if problems appear with Saturn Neptune conjunction, they're on the material level, at the work level, at health level, which is the sixth house, at enemy level, sixth house is enemies and whatever. Jupiter helps you see the higher perspective from the ninth house. Get yourself out of the ostriches. When there's a problem, they bury their head and they think no one, the predator is not going to see them, to get it out and to see from a higher perspective and to solve the problem. So this, even though it's a hard combination, square Jupiter Saturn can help you solve problems, maybe by an advisor, guru, or a wise person, or your higher self can help you see where the problem is and correct it and create a new vision for yourself there, so you can deal better with the increasing duties and responsibilities of Saturn and Neptune in the sixth house. Saturn and Neptune in the sixth house conjunction, which will last for a year basically, can also help you release and let go of a debt you have, an existing debt. It might be, like a loan or a debt or another debt. But again, with Saturn and Neptune, you have to pay attention to your health, that you're on your best behavior there, that you introduce, and they want to give birth to something new. They're joining for a new 35-year cycle in your sixth house. So that can be the birth of a new health routine over the next 1 year. You might be forced into it, or you might flow into it with more grace. Hopefully, Jupiter helps you see the bigger picture and why you have to do it, and to keep up the goal. But yeah, if you want to become a marathon runner, even with Saturn in the sixth house, is possible. As a simple thing as, I want to stop sugar, or I want to stop meat, or some change to your daily routine, to your habit, or I want to stop, I don't know, whatever you might think your problem is. Or I want to stop pain medications, I want to stop smoking, I want to stop drinking, or I want to introduce sport into my life. This is all sixth house. And no one makes long-lasting change as good as Saturn through the sixth house. Long-lasting health change and routines and habits change. And because especially your ideal, you want a better version of yourself. Jupiter in the ninth house is self-growth version 2.0. And it's kind of like, okay, it starts with the sixth house. It starts with a healthier version of myself, with maybe stopping some, I don't know, like whatever it is that you think is holding you back health-wise, starting exercise. And Neptune is to have a dream, maybe a dream to be an athlete, a dream to have a healthier body, a dream to lose a few weights, a dream never to overeat, or a dream to have healthier routines overall. And Saturn is the muscle force behind it, the donkey. So you get both of those, the dream and Saturn in Aries, the muscle force, the manifestation into material, making it a reality. And also sixth house is your work. So Saturn and Neptune, some of you might, with this conjunction, be let go of a job, lose a job, or quit a job because they're disillusioned with it. Saturn will show you exactly where you've been misleading yourself there, or you've never put your heart there. Neptune works only with the heart. It wants unconditional love. So if you don't have such love for what you do, for your job, Saturn will create obstacles or make you disappointed that you don't want to stay stuck there. And sometime either June, July, or February next year, or when they join together, it can bring you a new beginning by letting go of the old job or certain aspects of your work that you've been spreading yourself too thin, that you're dissatisfied, or maybe you're just doing too much, which you can make more elegant. You can choose just the really quality things to do instead. Or others, it can be like a new job that appears for you, new way of working, new ideal, new way of working, new direction. And especially Scorpios with the Saturn-Neptune conjunction starting from June and continuing 35 years cycle. Something in the next 1 year while they're joining in your sixth house. Saturn and Neptune can mean that some of you are called to take on like a service job. Can be service, army, police, can be medical field is the sixth house, can be service job, like to start a new beginning or some kind of, ministries of service or helping those in need in some sort, or just generally like a new direction with the career. You might be called for some really important mission through your work and service that you can do. Or you might want to start like YouTube videos for working out, sixth house of nutrition, or a business connected to those things. Saturn and Neptune will help you fulfill some ideal dream and goal connected to the sixth house work, and especially service work or health connected, to put it into concrete developments. But of course, I always give advice when Saturn and Neptune is in the sixth house, you have to be really over the next 3 years in particular, with Saturn also there, over the next 2.5 years, you have to be really strict with your health and cautious with your health, and implement new routines that you'll keep for life after that you'll keep. So if you start working out, you'll keep for life. If you start certain way of eating and whatever, you'll keep it for life, but you need to be diligent now and do the hard work. And Scorpio, just let's focus on, so good news, Jupiter in your ninth house. Yes, it's a 10-month because the Jupiter-Saturn square, it can start this new expansion period with a bit of a challenge or dilemma to solve, certain situation, something to trim down, to prioritize, and a bit this up and down, positive, negative, but overall it will, after June, July, it just grows better and better and better and easier. That's a promise for me. And you have the whole month Venus from the 6th, 7th, Venus in your 7th house, good for relationships, just this month. This is finally just for the month something, only lasting to the month, good for relationships. You can do business partnership, you can sign contracts, it's good for that. You can see nice company, spend good company with others, you can be more charming with others as well, or something good can be happening in your relationships, that you have more loving moments, or in the life of your partner this month, or just interacting with others. And then in July, Uranus will move into your 8th house and will leave you alone. It's been opposing you for 8 years, and at certain points in the last 7-8 years, there was big disruptions, changes in your life. Uranus is leaving you, but it's entering another areas of your life for the next 8 years. And I speak about that in my 5-hour webinar on Uranus in Gemini, just $20 for 5-hour video and 100 pages or more. I've written text that I've created for you, and with it's step by step. You don't need to know astrology. I teach you how to see what Uranus will affect for you from Gemini, what new opportunities it will bring, how it will affect you. Maybe it will oppose your Venus in Sagittarius, or maybe it will trine your, it will make a trine to your Mercury in Libra, and I show you how to see this in your chart, what exactly it means with real life stories, or what it means Uranus transiting your 8th house while making a trine to a planet in Aquarius. If you have, I go through many. It might sound foreign to you, but I explain it very easy. You don't need to know any astrology, so you can check it out. It's $20 now, but becomes $30 from July. Thank you so much, Scorpio. Enjoy Jupiter in your 9th house. A lucky, expansive period starting in your life.